Turning now to your community focus, believe it or not, we are barely 5 months away from Rhode Island's primary election for Rhode Island's governor. And here to talk about why he thinks he should be the state's next leader, Democrat Matt Brown. Thanks so much for being here.
Thanks for having me.
I want to start with some recent news that we've been tracking very closely here on 12 News, the FBI investigation into the ILO Group contract. You said when that news broke, quote, "The endless cycle of indictments and FBI investigations will continue until we oust the corrupt political machine that has been running our state for decades." And I want to be clear, no one has been indicted here. And Governor McKee has been adamant that the probe is going to show no signs of wrongdoing. So are you being too quick to condemn the governor when this investigation could frankly find nothing?
Well, what we have here is a situation where the McKee administration gave a contract, awarded a contract to a firm with no track record in the field with ties to his political allies. So the FBI is looking at it, and I expect they'll get to the bottom of it. I'm confident that they will. But there is a larger pattern here, as you know, as all Rhode Islanders know. It's been decades of the same story of politicians getting elected, going to the State House, using their office to funnel contracts, money to their allies, to their corporate donors. And it needs to end. And it's not going to end until we get not just a new governor, but a new leadership in the legislature, a whole new government. And that's why I'm running not alone, but with the great Senator Cynthia Mendes and all the terrific candidates in the Rhode Island Political Cooperative to finally oust the corrupt political leadership we had and get a government that's going to work for the people.
I want to switch gears a little bit to another topic. I know you're very passionate about the climate. Rhode Island DEM is out with some data showing that greenhouse gas emissions between 2017 and 2018 rose. You've proposed some aggressive initiatives to combat climate change, but we know right now that people are also worried about energy costs in general, the price at the pump. So how would you balance those two issues if you were governor today?
I actually think they fit really well together. If we had moved as fast as we should have and as fast as we need to now, we would have rooftop solar and wind power providing energy to the state, and that's what we have to fight for, instead of fossil fuel infrastructure and fossil fuel energy where the prices are wildly fluctuating and people are feeling the pain of that. And that's putting our planet at risk and our children at risk. So our plan is to rapidly increase the transition away from fossil fuels to solar and wind and clean renewable energy. And we're going to do that with a Green New Deal, where we not just get those good new clean systems of energy, but we actually shut down the polluting corporate fossil fuel industry in places like the Port of Providence that are poisoning the community and the children there. We need to shut that down, and we need to invest in clean renewable energy. And our plan is to make Rhode Island, through a Green New Deal approach, the first net zero emission state in the country by 2040.
Your opponents, Helena Foulkes and Nellie Gorbea, have both proposed tax cuts of some sort to Rhode Islanders who are dealing with the elevated cost of living right now due to inflation. Would you support any similar initiatives?
Well, these are one-time, short-term fixes that come and go and then leave people back where they were to begin with. And let's be clear about where people are in this state. They're struggling. They've been struggling for a long time. They're struggling just to pay the bills. And the reason that they're struggling is because the costs of things people need, like health care and housing, have gone up hundreds of percent, while wages have stayed essentially flat. And that means it doesn't add up. People can't make it work. They can't make ends meet. They can't do the one thing they most want to do, which is provide for their families. And so our plan is to actually provide real and lasting change to and address those issues. And that means we're going to guarantee a living wage of $19 an hour, which is about $40,000 a year. We're going to bring down the cost of housing by building 10,000 green, truly affordable homes. We're going to cap rent increases at 4% a year. We're going to enact a Medicare for All style healthcare system, and we're going to make sure that we increase taxes on the richest 1%, people making over $450,000 a year. This is the real and lasting change we need to bring to people.
We've got just about 30 seconds left, but I want to touch on two things you raised there. The $19 minimum wage, capping rent increases at 4% a year. How do you expect small businesses, landlords to shoulder that burden of that cost?
I think one of the biggest challenges facing small businesses in this state is the fact that Rhode Islanders don't have money in their pockets to come and shop at their local businesses. And that's because their wages are too low. They've been stuck at the same level for a long, long time. And everything they got has got to go to the basic needs: healthcare, housing, medicine, food. They don't have any money left to go shop at their local business. Increasing wages is a great investment in our local economy and our local businesses.
That is all the time that we have for today. Democrat Matt Brown, thanks so much for being here.
Thanks for having me.
And he joins 4 other Democrats seeking the governor's seat: Secretary of State Nellie Gorbea, incumbent Governor Dan McKee, former CVS executive Helena Foulkes, and businessman Luis Daniel Munoz. Republican political newcomer Ashley Kalus has also joined the race. And looking ahead to tomorrow, when Sarah Morgenthau will join us live in studio to talk about why she is running to replace Congressman Jim Langevin. That's coming up in tomorrow's Community Focus.